Once upon a time, in the heart of the great oak forest, lived a lively little squirrel named Saffy. Saffy had fluffy golden brown fur, bright whiskers, and the most curious eyes in the woods. While the other squirrels spent their days gathering nuts or racing across branches, Saffy spent her time tasting plants, mixing berries, and inventing new recipes. Saffy loved cooking more than anything. She kept a tiny notebook made of pressed leaves where she wrote her recipes: bacon pancakes, pinnacone porridge, honey-sparkled berry muffins, and her favorite maple nut stew. She dreamed of sharing her food with the whole forest. One cool morning, after perfecting a nutty carrot roll that tasted better than anything she'd ever made, she announced, "I'm opening a restaurant." Not just for squirrels, but for every creature in the forest. Her friends stared at her. Benny the rabbit blinked. A restaurant? That sounds different. But Saffy wasn't discouraged. She found a tall, hollow oak tree near the river. Inside, she swept away old leaves, polished the wooden floor with moss, and carved out windows to let in the sunlight. She made tiny wooden tables from fallen branches and decorated each one with flower petals. Lanterns made from glowing fireflies hung from the ceiling. They agreed to help, as long as they got free pie on Fridays. When she was done, she carved a wooden sign: Saffy's Forest Feast, delicious meals for all. On opening day, Saffy woke before the sun. She cooked pot after pot of warm soups. She baked berry pies that filled the air with sugary sweetness. She roasted crunchy pine nuts and arranged them in neat little baskets. Still, she worried. What if no one comes? The first visitor was Benny the rabbit, who hopped inside nervously. His nose twitched as he sniffed the air. "Is that carrot top stew?" "It is," Saffy said. "One bowl, please." The moment Benny tasted it, he shouted, "This is incredible!" and raced out to tell everyone. Soon animals flooded inside: redbirds, hedgehogs, mice, deer, chipmunks, and even Tilda the turtle, who moved slowly but loved food quickly. The restaurant buzzed with chatter. "Try the pinnacone porridge." "I want the honeyberry muffins. More acorn pancakes, please." Saffy rushed around, delighted but overwhelmed. She wanted to make everyone happy, but the orders were piling up, and her tiny paws were getting tired. Just when she thought she couldn't keep up, the door shook with a heavy stomp. Thud, thud, thud. In walked Grumble, the biggest, strongest, and most famously hungry bear in the forest. Everyone froze. Grumble had a deep, growly voice and a face that always looked annoyed, mostly because he was always hungry. "I smell food," he rumbled. "Good food." Saffy swallowed hard. Instead of panicking, she took a deep breath and served him her special large bowl of maple nut stew. Grumble dipped his spoon in slowly. He tasted it. He paused. The whole room held its breath. Then, something unbelievable happened. Grumble smiled. A huge, warm, soft smile. "This," he said, "is the best thing I have ever eaten." The restaurant exploded with cheers. From then on, Saffy's Forest Feast became the most loved place in the woods, but running a restaurant wasn't always smooth. One day, the fireflies were too sleepy to glow, so the restaurant went dark. Benny helped by bringing shiny river stones that reflected the moonlight. Another day, the wind blew so hard that the sign fell down. The birds worked together to lift it back into place. And once, Saffy burned an entire batch of muffins. Tilda the turtle slowly patted her paw and said, "Mistakes happen, even in kitchens." Saffy learned she didn't have to do everything alone. The forest family supported her just as she fed them. Soon she hired helpers. Benny became the carrot chopper. He was extremely fast. Tilda was the taste tester, slow, but always honest. The bluebirds delivered orders to tables. A raccoon named Rocco washed dishes with his clever paws. And Grumble? He became the official quality control bear. He took that job very seriously, sometimes too seriously, especially near dessert. The restaurant grew into a place where animals laughed, shared stories, and made new friends. Saffy's dream had become more than a restaurant. It had become the heart of the forest. Every evening, when the fireflies began to glow and soft music from chirping crickets filled the air, Saffy stood at the doorway and smiled. She looked at her happy customers, her helpful friends, and her warm, busy kitchen. She thought, dreams don't grow alone. They grow with help, kindness, and a lot of tasty food. And so Saffy's forest feast stayed open every day, welcoming every creature, big or small, hungry or shy, serving joy, friendship, and the best food in the great oak forest.